Good evening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for braving whatever interesting weather warning we may or may not be having out there. I'm not actually sure. It's been a while since I walked out the door, but something interesting was going on. I appreciate your coming. We have this evening a bunch of music for you that is from approximately near the British Isles. A lot of it is Irish, a little bit of it is Scottish, a small percentage of it is Welsh, and I think we're covering Northumberland somewhere in there. I'm sure we're missing some part of the English-British configuration, not counting the entire empire, but we're doing our very best here. So I appreciate your coming. I'm Dr. Christina Tanner. I'm the program director of music, I guess. I don't direct any of the ensembles. I just try and make sure that everyone stays where they need to be and gets supported in however I need to support them. So I'm going to open us up with a word of prayer, and then we'll get ourselves into some music. Lord God, I thank you for the chance to enjoy music. I thank you for the chance to play music. I thank you for the chance to dance to music. I thank you for the chance to be able to use the gifts that you have given and enjoy the gifts that you have given to others. I pray that you would help our performance, that we may perform to the best of our ability, but also that you would be given glory and that we would give you honor and praise through what it is that we do. And I pray that those who are listening would be able to give you honor and praise as well. I thank you for the chance to be able to learn, to continue to learn, to always be learning more about you and more about the world you've created and more about the music that we get to play while we're here. And I praise your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
It's on? Oh, it is on. All right. Good evening. I am Dr. Scott McCormick, and thank you for being here. It's no joke. We are giving an Irish program on April Fool's Day. But I do have a joke. So what do you call a fake Irish stone? A shamrock? Wow, I even have percussion and everything. All right, so the orchestra is going to begin with a set of Irish music. The first one is my favorite hymn, Be Thou My Vision. It's a spectacular setting for strings by a local composer who trained in Virginia, and her name is Suhi Newbold. This seems to evoke the natural beauty of Ireland along with this powerful melody. We will continue with another composition by that same arranger called Irish Legend, and here's a chance to feature our fabulous violinist, Elizabeth Chang. Listen also for solo roles from a guest violinist, Katie Duanchek, and a violist, this is Molly Hudson, and prominent role for the pedal harps, which is the first row of the plucked instruments to your left. We even have a cameo role for Dr. Tanner, who's going to bravely play on piano despite injuring her finger and showing that if you have enough skill, all 10 digits are not entirely necessary. So I hope you enjoy the PHC Orchestra in the music of Suhi Newbold. So our next selection is from the movie Titanic. And can you believe that that movie is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year? We are going to play from the iconic scene where the wealthy protagonist joins a celebration in the working class section of the ship and is swept away by the power of the Irish music that she hears there. And I hope that you have much the same experience. Here's the Irish Party in third class. All right, so next we are going to go to one of those other nations that is enveloped in the Celtic traditions, and this is the nation of Wales, which is known as a champion of the instrument of the harp. And it is my pleasure to introduce my wife, Professor Rebecca McCormick. She's the voice faculty here at PHC, and she is going to sing a song for us called Seo Gan, which is a Welsh lullaby. You might recognize this tune if you saw the Steven Spielberg movie called Empire of the Sun. And she is going to sing the first verse in Welsh, so you can hear how the language sounds before switching to English. I also want to give a shout out to Markia Powell, one of our harpists who arranged this for the pedal harps to play with her this evening. So I hope you enjoy Seo Gan. And next, we are going to present our entire harp ensemble, our growing and highly publicized thanks to a recent article in the PHC Herald. Even with 2 of our members out sick this weekend, we have quite a collection of colors and shapes. If you're not very familiar with harp, just to tell you that the ones in the front, the large ones, are the pedal harps, and then we have a collection of levers in different sizes behind. And one thing you might not know about the harp is how much care and love it takes to get these beautiful instruments in tune and synchronized with each other. A labor of love for sure, but so worth it if you get to hear the hauntingly beautiful sounds that they create together. So they're going to present 2 pieces for you. The first is the Parting Glass, and the second, the unforgettable Danny Boy, both traditional Irish pieces for harp ensemble. I hope you enjoy. And now for a dance interlude. This is going to be one of our students, Isaac Ritz, and his father, and also the McGrath Morgan Dance Company. They're not dancing, they're providing the musical background for the company behind them. So this is something new to us at PhD, but very much part of the Irish tradition of movement and dance and music. So I cannot wait to hear them. Take it away.
Hello? Ah, there we go. Sometimes you just never know what's going to happen with these things. Good evening, everyone. I'm Professor Susan Bauer. Behind me, you can see my diligent flutes, and we're going to do a couple of tunes for you. One called By Kel's Waters, which is just a very lovely lullaby. We all love it, and I'm sure you will too. Followed by a medley of Irish tunes, a couple of which you'll probably recognize, Rakes of Mallow and the Irish Washerwoman, mixed in with a few others that you'll just enjoy and you won't remember the names of.
right, we are now going to have a selection by all the violins in the PHC Orchestra. This is going to be our fiddle band. And here's a fun fact. Did you know that Patrick Henry himself was a fiddler? So was Thomas Jefferson. And this was likely the kind of music that they enjoyed listening to and playing. So it is also an important part of our heritage. This is a Kesh jig collection that was arranged by a group called Scythian that I had the honor of playing with about a dozen years ago. And let's see, what else was I going to say? I want to give a shout out to Luke Butler on the guitar, who's joined us from Langley. And also to our fabulous rhythm section, I've got Craig Hunter on the drum set, and I've got Julianne on the tambourine. Now, listen for these great soloists. I'm starting with Catherine Hickam and also Noah Herndon, who didn't make it into the program in time, but we love him too. And then we're also going to be able to feature Hannah Davidsmeyer. And finally, Isaac Ritz is back with one of these Kesh jigs, so I hope you enjoy. You want to strike a chord on that guitar? Oh, and actually, while we're at it, let's have an A for all the violins. Our next selection has a very quirky title. It's Irish Junkyard Jam, but it stands in great contrast to our soloists, who are nothing but classy. And this is going to be a piece that features a string quartet. They're going to get ready to play now. If you know about the string family, you know that a string quartet includes 2 violins. And we have Elizabeth and Isaac, who you've heard from already tonight, joined now by Julia Martin and by James Elliott on cello. They will have feature roles, but you'll see that this selection by Brian Balmages, who's actually also a local composer. He's based in Maryland and gaining great success for his arrangements for strings. Anyway, this has little sections to challenge all the parts, including the pedal harps that are back, and also including the conductor. So there's challenge for all of us on this. So I hope you enjoy this little piece, Irish Junkyard Jam. Okay, our next selection is very special to me. It's called the Seven Wicked Reels, and they were arranged by a personal friend of mine in my hometown of Calgary, Canada. His name is Dean Marshall, and he organized the Barrage fiddle band that toured the world and actually came to this area, and I got to do a concert with them a while back, so they left me this treasure of music. So here's how it works. There are 7 fiddlers that will each take a turn doing a reel, and meanwhile, we will also have our dancers from the Morgan McGrath studio join us. McGrath Morgan Dance Studio. They're going to be fabulous, so there's going to be a lot going on. So I hope you enjoy. These are the 7 Wicked Reels arranged by Dean Marshall.
Good evening. That's a tough act to follow, must say. I think the next song really does not need an introduction. There's a really, really long backstory about its origin. But for time's sake, I'm just going to say, I think the song is really familiar to us because of Simon and Garfunkel, right? So we've heard this in so many versions. It was used in a movie in 1967 featuring the actor Dustin Hoffman. And since then, we've heard it in so many versions. I've heard it in commercials, and it's just used everywhere. And especially the Celtic ladies, they do an amazing job. So as if there's not enough versions out there, here's my take on Scarborough Fair.
Hello again. We're going to reach a little bit back in time, and we're going to reach across the English Channel. We're going to reach back to a gentleman called Johann Sebastian Bach, to his B minor suite in which he wrote this movement for flutes, well, then wooden flutes, but called the Badenary. Now, if you look at your program, that's not exactly what it says. Because James Galway's arranger, David Overton, said, well, let me see if we can make Bach roll over a little bit and do a mashup with the Badenary and reels for the Badino Reelery. And I have brought my guitar-playing husband, yes. And he deserves every bit of that and more, because we just do so much wonderful music together, and we'll share a little bit with you guys tonight.
So we are going to come for a piece now that brings all of our student groups together, our strings, our flutes, our harps, and our dancers, in music that was made famous by the touring company Riverdance. And so we will even have an appearance by our own Lord of the Dance, Isaac Ritz, who you've seen on violin previously, and hopefully very uplifting music that will get everyone to, it's the culmination of our Celtic Blessing concert. Then also a hymn that follows it. So this will be our final selections. Let's have an A.
We have one more song. It is not quite that energetic, but we are asking you to participate. I have good news, you don't have to dance. Before we get to that, I'd like to say a huge thank you to the McGrath Morgan School of Dance and to the Ritz family who did a lot of coordinating work to make this happen. We haven't had dance before. I think it's spectacular. So an extra applause there. Also, if you couldn't see it, the violinist had a really lot of notes in that last one. Really lot of notes being my new advanced grammar technique that we're trying out this week. But they also were working a lot up here. So much thanks to the orchestra, the harps, the flutes, who also had a lot of notes. Hi, flutes. And all the other participants in all of these different ensembles. Before we get to the part where you get to sing, not dance, I'm going to let you know that our next upcoming performances are the weekend of the 15th and 16th and feature the chorale. I think it's the 15th here and the 16th in Upperville. Somebody affirm this for me somewhere. That's right. Good news. I got it right. So if you get a chance, please come to one or both of those performances. The chorale is in between now and then going on tour to New England. So if you happen to be from New England, you should go hear them there. And here. On that note, our last song is indeed a worship song because we wouldn't be able to enjoy any of this without the Lord who gave it to us. And so we're going to bring up some of our vocal studio to lead the singing at the beginning. They're going to sing the first couple of verses. When Dr. McCormick turns around toward you, that's your cue to stand up and sing. We will provide the lyrics for you on the screens. And if you're thinking to yourself, I have no idea what we're singing, I have good news, which is that the tune is a nice familiar Scottish melody called Auld Lang Syne. But we're going to sing better words, because no one really knows what Auld Lang Syne means anyway. I'm kidding. Someone somewhere does. Someone in this audience does. But we're going to sing All Glory Be to Christ, and the words will be on the screen. Thank you for coming.
His will be done, His kingdom come. Okay, now I'm live. All right, we wanted to close this evening with probably the most famous of all the Irish blessings. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Thank you.